Great day, my heart family. Just so happy to be here today. I am so glad that you are tuning in with me in this moment. So thank you so much for that. Let's get to it. I would like to take some time today and talk about relationships. When I say relationship, more so the relationships that we have with friends or families, or just, I guess, people in general. It can be platonic or romantic. And essentially, the topic is our expectations when it comes to people, right? There are so many different types of relationships around us, or relationships that we are engaged in. Some we call friendships, some we call acquaintances, some, this is my cousin, and sometimes it's not even blood, but it's still your cousin, right? Or your auntie, who's not blood, but it's still your auntie. And we have people we work with, colleague, or whatever the case might be. But here's what I want to focus on. We tend to have these preconceived notions in our mind at times with people and what it is that we expect from them. Kind of like an automatic thing. Oh, because you are XYZ to me, then naturally you should be able to do XYZ if I asked. Come on, how fair is that? Here you are already giving me a job description in your mind and in your world without ever having a conversation with me around that, without knowing if it's something that I have the capacity to do, or even if I might have the capacity, that's great, but do I want to do it? And then a time comes where you make that request, and then the answer might be a no, and now you're in your feelings. You are in your feelings because you made an assumption that whatever it is that you desired, I would be able to grant. And we never had a conversation around it. And let's just take a moment and highlight the people who, what I think at times have unrealistic expectations of the people around them. Coming to people knowing that you done jacked up your credit, but now you want someone to come and co-sign for you. How fair is that? That's not cool. Or the crazy amount of money you're going to come and ask a person to borrow, knowing you're not going to pay that back. Stop playing. You're not going to pay it back because they have let you borrow money in the past and you've never paid that back. And there were lower amounts. So stop playing. So one of the things that I have found to be very useful for me is to evaluate the people in my circle, whether that's family, whether that's friends, colleague, or whatever the case might be. When you're choosing to engage with people, when you have people in your circle, it is important to understand who they are. Get to really know who these people are and not just make things up about them. Dive deep into your relationships and into your friendships. And that way, you're not having expectations. You're not setting yourself up for failure. Prime example, you might have a person who historically you'll call, they will never answer their phone, right? But you know that this is them. It's not something new. It's been like this for like 10 years. This is me just giving an example. So then why every time you call this person and they don't answer their phone, you get upset? It's not new. This is who they are. So your expectation of expecting them to answer the phone and then you get upset is really, what are you doing? You already know. If anything, if you call them and they answer the phone, take that as a pleasant surprise and say, oh my gosh, wow. I really wasn't expecting you to answer the phone, but here we are. What a pleasant surprise. Switch that mindset around. And don't put expectations on people that are unfair to them and who they are. Because that way, you will always be disappointed. if you have friendships in your life, it's almost like a tier system, I would say. For me, I know that I have a handful of people when it comes to some specific things. I know, okay, these are who I can go to for this. Certain conversations, these are who I can go to have these conversations. Then I may have this other group where, okay, these are where you fit. And this is, you are the B pile. And this is what we can engage in. This is what we can do. Then I might have the C pile. We may not even be on that level where we need to be out, hanging out. This may be an occasional text message type thing. How you doing? Check in, whatever the case might be. But I have a tendency of just putting people in categories in my life. And that way, my expectations on what that friendship or that relationship is set. It's clear. We've had these conversations. I know you enough to know that, okay, you're comfortable with this, you're not comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with this, I'm not comfortable with that. And that way, there's no confusion. There's no disappointment. This is what it is. Now, the other part to this is, if I have a person in my life and I would like something more from them, more than what they are able or willing to offer me, I then must decide, is this a person that I still want in my life? If the answer is yes, then I have to determine the capacity in which I want that person to be in my life. If the answer is no, then I need to put those healthy boundaries in place. Because there are often times where you might want a person in your life to be able to give more. Prime example will be if there's a person you're feeling romantically and you might want more of their time and their attention, and their feelings may not be mutual. And so you have to now decide, do I want this person in my life, but maybe just as a friend? And I know that I'm going to get the time that I get, whatever they're able to give, and I'm okay with that. Or, you know what? I want it more. They can't give it. I don't need them in my life at all, because maybe I can't even tolerate just having them as a friend. And it might be too much for me. So then you have to take the steps towards not having them in your life. So it's really a matter of assessing the connections in your space, seeing how they align with you as a person, really truly understanding who these individuals are as a person, and seeing where they fit in your life or where they don't, and move accordingly. So again, I don't think it's fair to have unrealistic expectations of people. And I also don't think that it's fair to try to push or force things on people just for the sake of being a family or knowing you for a long time. That's not cool. Identify the individuals in your circle. Assess the relationships. Truly get to know. Don't just be like, oh, that's my friend, but you don't know nothing about that person. You've known this person for 10, 20 years, but you don't really know the people. We need to learn how to date our friends. Really spend time getting to know, asking questions, having hard conversations. And that way you can know where to put them in your life. You're in column A, you're in column B, you're in column C, you're in column gotta go. And let's not, discount the fact that we at times outgrow people, or maybe people outgrow us. We're constantly changing. And sometimes a relationship that was so in alignment with you, you get to a point in your life where it's no longer in alignment, and that's okay. That's okay. But we should be constantly changing. Hopefully it's growing and growing for the best. But in the meantime, as we continue, we are social beings, right? So as we continue to make connections and meet people, we're doing our assessments along the way. We're asking the questions along the way, and we're seeing where these people need to fit in our lives, where it makes sense not only for them, but also for you as a person, and move accordingly. So that is that. All right. Well, I want to thank you all again for the time that you took to spend with me today and listening to my voice. I pray that you will take some time to assess the relationships in your life and know that there are a lot of people who are for you and there's some who's just not, and that's okay. So with that being said, I want you to always remember that everything is always working out for your highest greatness in every way, shape, and form, no matter what. Take care.